This that one grind. Go and get mine. This that one grind. This that one grind. I'ma go ahead and hit the road and go and get mine. This that one grind. I'ma go ahead and hit the road and go and get mine. This that one grind. I'ma go ahead and hit the road and go and get mine. This that one grind. I'ma go ahead and hit the road and go and get mine. I've been on my grind. 100 and feel on time. They don't never feel me cause they lost their time. They can come back around cause they out their mind.
And we back in this thing, man. The equivalent of successfully doing this every single week. It's like that. We got new guests in the building, and somebody friendly to the faces of the people from around the way. Robert Seggie, man. Y'all keep it locked, man. We're gonna be right back in this thing, man. Talk that one grind, huh? Let's go.
Diamond. The fully stocked mini market. Clean and friendly. We cash checks only if we are familiar with the company and it's already in our system. From your favorite beer and wine to lottery, groceries and our fresh deli. Making sure Clinton Township gets the best customer service around, shop Diamond. And continue to keep the legacy going.
And my mama keeps telling me I'm way too lean.
What's up, everybody? It's your man's Red Bands, that nerd from the bird. Welcome. We back in this thing, man, for another edition of what it is that we do great. Get out and discover other people's excitement. And today, it just happened to be another one of those days. We are appreciative of everyone that was in attendance that came out this weekend and celebrated life with us. We had a few events that went on that took place. So if you were out and you took part in the Winter Fest party Saturday, it was a jammer. Shout out to Clinton Wood. Shout out to everybody who was in the building, all the promotional hosts and whatnot that were here. You guys did an awesome job being who you are, and we, thankful for that. It sets off a new vibe and a new sensation around here. If you haven't already, man, make it over to your friendly Instagram site, page, whatever you gotta do to get over there on your favorite device. Make sure you log in and go over to the screen with the little circle on it and search for Zone Talk OurWAY. Give us a follow, give us a like. We got some pretty fly content on there. If you happen to, you can check out some of the photos and videos from our beautiful guest over the Sunday. We had Mrs. Detroit Diamond. Detroit Diamond, man, upcoming artist featured on Netflix newest series, Rhythm and Flow. That contest she took part in and was one of the more last people standing in that, and came out to celebrate a brunch and did a little bit of a listening party, which kind of gave us an opportunity to see her in a way that we never probably would, because we were ones, you know what I'm saying? We did something real nice for her, and it was a really good turnout. So check out us over there on Instagram. You can get to the Club Legacy nightclub for more details. You can head over to Zone Talk OurWAY for details. You can get myself 586 Red Bands for all the photos and all the sweet stuff. I had some sharp stuff on that day. Y'all gotta tap in on that one. But we have our newest guest, man, that's made his way over to the things that we do here, and we don't want to keep you guys anymore on the edge about tonight and what we doing. So without further ado, man, y'all give a good round of applause for the good guy, Robert Seggie, man. What's up, Robert? All right, Robert Seggie, man. What's good, man?
How you doing?
I've been doing real good, bro. How about yourself?
Good, not bad, man.
I like to think so, man. That you're doing well, man. When I see you, man, you look like you still got that charm on you, man.
I appreciate it. Wear a smile every day. It takes it far.
It will, man. It's very contagious, is what they told me. So here we are, man. Here inside the club, Legacy Nightclub, Mount Clemens downtown. You ever been here before?
First time.
First time.
Yeah.
What do you think about the place?
That's nice, man. You're doing big things here. I like it.
All right. Well, don't worry about those guys. I know you can hear them, man. It's a live studio situation around here. We found, ourselves getting close to you, man, because you come from a background that, keeps us all connected in a sense. So if you could, man, I'd like to try to ask this to the guests that are coming out here. Who is Robert Seggie?
Man, the $1 million question, right? Former Clinton Dragon alumni.
What?
Yeah.
So, shout out to y'all Dragons, baby.
I think that's the roots, right? Clinton Township, born and raised. We're privileged enough to play on the ball field together, so I think that helped mold who we are today. The hustler, the grinder. It's been a long journey to get where I am today, but in mortgage, happy, been in sales a long time, but now in mortgage, real estate, investor, flip houses, have a rent portfolio. But it's been, I'll tell you, multiple failures, multiple stepping stones to get even. I think the best part about it is the journey continues, right? In one chapter of the book now, keep flipping these pages and writing these new chapters, and hopefully continue to have success and things like that in the future.
All right. Well, I appreciate you finding a way out here, man. I
appreciate the invite.
Indeed, man. What you think about the whole lane that we got going on over there? Did you ever take a look at the content, or did you find out anything about this?
This podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I like what you're doing. I know the podcast thing's what would you call it, a fad now.
It is a big ass fad.
Not a lot of people doing it well.
True.
And I think that's where you kind of can, mold your own lane, make the content that's going to speak to the people, and I think the uniqueness will shine through. So keep doing what you're doing, man. I like that.
I think.
Yeah.
What type of, are you an avid listener of me, or do you find yourself engaged in other podcast kind of content?
I try to be a student of the game and whatever I'm involved in. So a lot of the stuff I listen to is going to be real estate related, mortgage related.
Well, no, it's for information with this.
Informational, right?
Yeah.
Outside of that, I'm a pretty big Joe Rogan fan. So
I like him too, man.
I listen to Joe Rogan. I think he's a sponge when it comes to information. So he brings out some interesting people, and you can understand from a standpoint of just wanting to know and having questions that he wants to answer.
Yeah, because at one time, or one of the things is the conversation over your head when you start dealing with interest level of things that you like. But when you listen to people who can give you their relationship to the questions that you are having in your mind, I don't know if he preamps his stuff or nothing like that, but he's got a long laundry list of shit that he's been in anyway.
Oh, man.
If you don't want to listen to him, you a fool, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he be on some shit, man. I like him a lot. So I wanted to find myself, discovering about, the guy that I remember as a young person. So we haven't had a chance to even get remotely close to something like this until, this is what we graduated 02. 23 years ago?
Yeah.
I can't believe we here sometimes, man, but I'm thankful, very thankful of being able to have met the people who have come across. So, we come from a town, man, where it was very easy to just say, I'm about to go to my neighbor's house, man, or I'm finna go over here to my buddy's crib and shit and kind of hang out. For me, I grew up with this impression that, I'm in a place, it's a town that everybody has a common work ethic, I should say. But it gives me to wonder, for you as a young coming out of this, what was it like in your time, for you through your eyes growing up in this side of the world and cross aid in between this mixture pot of things and people around here?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think it's what helps, or it helped mold me into who I am today. Probably you could say the same. Growing up in Clinton Township was a cultural melting pot. There was never a point where I felt we were necessarily at a disadvantage. But then when we traveled to other schools and other parts,
You ain't lying.
you realize, okay, we are different.
We
It is
different.
different.
It's just
But I think the really cool part about that was when you walked in those doors in our old high school, you were common. You were an equal.
Yeah.
You were treated the same. There was nobody that treated anyone less equal.
I never felt like that at all. No.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And then I think the sports obviously brought us together, or a lot of us together, which helped make us who we are today. We all have great coaches, great teachers.
You still keep up with some of those little coaches?
Not necessarily.
You ain't seen anybody that won?
It's been a while. It's been a while.
Sorry.
You know, I do the window golf out here once a year, so I'll see them and run into those guys there.
That's just up,
But
man.
outside of that, no, you know, I moved out into a rural area.
He left the hood. Rob left the hood.
I kept moving north, kept moving further away. So, but yeah, to get back to your question, it's just, you know, you didn't realize that you were different until you went outside of our city limits, and you kind of feel it. But I think that helped the diversity, the cultural melting pot, allowed us to be almost like chameleon-like in the everyday world, which allowed most of you look at anyone from our past, a lot of them are doing well. They're doing all right. You know.
I agree. Y'all people doing all right. We see y'all, man.
Yeah.
Nobody forgot about nobody. I think this is a good year for us in the sense to maybe build some of those relationships and let people know, you know, a 20-year mark. Did you do any of the reunion stuff at all? Somebody who ever organized, you ain't do a great job. Damn.
I did not.
Hey, would you come to one if one was popping here?
I consider.
I consider that shit too. So whoever want to do something, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
25-year reunion.
Right.
Hey, it'd be worth it. So I see some people doing so. I see like Total Fitness or some shit, but
Yeah.
you ain't invite me. No,
I probably did. It just got lost in the inbox.
Yeah, I ain't get that invite, but it's the 2025, man. How's your year been going for you so far?
How's your year going so far?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I can say every day is a good day. You know, I wake up with purpose every single day. I got 2 kids, so that's, you know, and a wife. So I got a family at home, and that's my motivation daily. You know, I wake up and know I gotta provide.
Yeah.
If I ain't gonna do it, who's gonna do it?
Yeah, you always, that's how you do it, man.
And that's it, you know. I mean, I was always, I don't know if you were the same way, but I felt I felt like I was always counted out. Wasn't supposed to accomplish this.
Hey man, I ain't gonna lie.
Graduate school. I wasn't supposed to graduate high school.
I remember checking your box. I don't know about Seggie sometimes.
You
man.
ain't gonna graduate college. You ain't gonna go play. I did everything they said I couldn't do, which, you know, kind of just built that motivation. You know, and always kept like the back against the wall mentality. And you know, I could say from there, I just took that same mentality and ran with it. And daily grind and daily effort, daily hustle. Wake up with some purpose and know what I want to accomplish. And
What did you kind of fall into, man, after high school like that? You know, to get yourself into the adulting and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Before 21, I was kind of like, shit, man, I made a lot. I already went to school, came back to school. Now I'm out here. Like, what am I really doing?
It's like, you know, it was almost beta testing everything. You know, I went to college. I'm fortunate to get the athletic scholarship, go play football a little while in South Dakota.
Is that what you meant?
Yep.
Yeah, man, I was messed up, man. I thought I was fighting with Mahalik for that first day.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I had too many C's in my life, though. You know what I'm saying?
And the grades had, they weren't the greatest for me. They was forcing me to be a redshirt freshman.
So you got to play though?
So I got to play, yeah.
You did all 4?
Not in South Dakota, so I ended up getting injured my sophomore year. I tore some ligaments and tendons in my ankle. And then, you know,
Still feeling it today?
Oh yeah, I never had surgery or anything like that. So, you know, it's kind of, it's funny when people say when the weather changes, I feel I feel it.
You feel it when the rain is coming.
Yeah. But I transferred from South Dakota to Western Michigan to complete my degree. You know, I bought into that dream of better education, better life. You know, I will say this, you know, although I didn't follow that path, I had some great coaches and mentors in my life that allowed me to believe in that, and which is why I chased it. But in college, I realized that wasn't my path. So I jumped on a different board, a different boat, I should say.
Alternative measures. But didn't nobody fault you for that, though?
No, I mean, I think every day is a trial and error, right?
Yeah.
Until you figure it out, you find a passion. I found out quickly through chasing an education major that I enjoy the education aspect. So I coupled that, did a ton of research when I was in college, and figured sales would be a good path because it's similar to sports.
Edgy is what I was going to say. Hell yeah, I'm on the edge every time I go out there for a sale.
Right, and it's dog eat dog, especially when you're commission only. It's just like hunting. Like if you don't kill, you don't eat.
No, I live so faithfully on that, man. I ain't working and I ain't eating shit today.
Yeah, so I coupled that sales mentality with education, because I feel sales is not sales. I feel it's an education process. I'm just partnering somebody's need with, educating them on that product that I may have to fit their need, right?
I wouldn't have paid you though as sales, but God, I mean, when I think about you on out the field though, shit, you could sell some rice to a fucking Eskimo. I can't believe it.
And then I ran with it. I was in a security industry for 14 years, doing electronic surveillance and access control and alarm systems and things like that, and grew with a couple different companies. Had some trial and errors there. Partnered with some people that allowed me to educate myself in business, right? And make some changes, make some different moves, and through that, I really learned business. I learned the ins and outs of business, profits and losses, expenses, spreadsheets, you name it.
Man, everything that you didn't just get a whole dictionary to in school, man.
Yep, right.
Well, look. Folks, we ain't gonna keep y'all under that too much, man. We're gonna take a little breather here, man. Give Mr. Seggie an opportunity here at Woosah a bit. We're gonna find out more about the moves he's made as a business professional and where the start for this niche kind of comes. It's your man, Ray Bands, out there for the bird. We'll be right back.
Most people have heard about CBD but don't know what it is or how it works. So where do you go for the real answers? Trust the experts at Revita CBD. Revita CBD is family owned and has developed high quality products from Michigan grown hemp. All of our products are third party tested, and we offer absolutely the best and most current CBD information and guidance.
What's up, everybody? It's your man's Ray Bands, that nerd from the bird, man. We back in this thing, man. Woo! Thursday night, man. It's that one grind. Thank you, everybody who stepped into the building, man. If you haven't already, man, make sure you go over to your Instagram and type in Zone Talk OurWAY and find out more details about what it is we got going on. Also, you can get more about us over there at OurWAY Radio. And if you know better, get over to clublegacynights.com for more details, information, as well as Club Legacy Nightclub at the Instagram. We got Robert Seggie, man, still in this thing, breathing and relaxing with us, man. You still hanging in there, Rob?
I'm hanging in there.
All right, grab your mic and bring it a little tighter to your big dog.
Hanging in there. Is that
there
good?
You go. There you go. I hear you now, man. Thank you again tuning in, man. Rob, man, how's the bar over there, man?
It's good, man.
Good stuff over there.
Pour me a little drink. I'm all right.
Good deal, man. Robert Seggie, man, a long-time celebrity of Clintondale.
Hardly, man. Hardly.
Definitely, man. Uh-oh. I hope I wouldn't jam. I've been jamming over our whole conversation. How dare I? Let me stop that autopilot. If y'all messed that up, man, that's my bad, y'all. It is what it is. So we were chopping it up, man, getting to know things about you, man, starting out in the world and, being a youngster out here, now turning into a business professional. You getting your shine and getting your grind. How do you you were mentioning, matter of fact, that you started making mistakes, and then you kind of start learning from the mistakes, and it kind of turns you into a business, man. Can you elaborate on that? Because I only know business from being straight up gun ho. Like, ain't nothing else to do. I'd rather just get some money straight forward. I want to cut through the red tape and just sell them something.
So there's, I think in business there's two types of people.
Yeah.
Right? There's the owners and then the workers, right? Your salespeople are going to be your workers, right? It's different when you're selling a product. It's different when you're running a company. When you're building something, and even with sales, even if you're just a sales individual, like you're going to go through, you walk into your first appointment, it's going to be different than your 100th appointment.
True that.
You're going to learn a lot going through all the experiences, the different type of people you're going to meet, different things you're going to learn to say. Same with business, right? You're going to learn, I don't need to spend this on that in order to get my result and my return on my investment here. But it takes those failures, those stepping stones to get to that spot where you become educated enough knowing not to make those mistakes.
So what was your first type of sales gig you got into?
I mean, not a lot of people know. In high school, I was actually, while I was working at Blimpies, shout out to Blimpies.
Oh, man, you was a Blimpie great. Hey, man, shout out to everybody that know Blimpies right there on 15 the grass. Rob was in there hooking everybody's ass up.
Yeah, give you a couple extra slices, right? While I was doing that, I was buying and selling electronics. So I would buy cell phones and make sure they work, clean them up a little bit.
What kind of cell phones was in actors back then? What we had? Flip
Nokias.
Nokia. Damn.
Flip phone, little screen on it, little tiny screen, right? But anything I can get my hands on, if it was a PlayStation or something like that, like I just try to buy and flip things and make a little bit of money. Even if it was just like $10, $20, it didn't matter if I was able to make money. And that's kind of where I fell in love with the hustle, the grind, the sales aspect of it. But that was it. That led me into, again, going to college and doing the education stuff. But my first actual sales profession was security and surveillance. Shout out to ADT Security.
ADT, man, y'all been known to do a lot. I think they sales hook is we'll get you in and not knowing that they'll get you, that you got yours for free, something like that.
No, I don't know that one. But that was my door-to-door experience there. They used to drop me off in the middle of Detroit and go knock some doors and go find some customers and and just build
backtrack to that for me real quick here. Let's spend a moment in that sales realm. There's a lot of people that don't agree to the aggressiveness that comes with a door-to-door or a direct sales associate.
Yeah.
So when you started experiencing that at a young age, how much of that direct sales did you take personal in the beginning?
Oh, every no was like the end of my world. It felt personal.
Yeah, dude.
Like, what did I do wrong for you to tell me no today?
Like, come on, it's my job to sell this to you.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was, but I learned quickly. That's the one thing that I could, hang my hat on is that I wouldn't hang on to it long. I would try to learn from it, figure out. And I was good at asking questions and finding out what was it that made you choose this other company versus our company? What did I do differently? What could I have done differently to make your experience a little bit better? And that helped me continue to grow and
I would have to say in all of my trainings and teachings, ain't nobody missed that point right there. Is being good at knowing like why you're saying no. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or finding out how if it was any other person here, what was the determining factor, or the way you would come to get around somebody who's saying no only because of one thing you didn't share with them or something.
Yeah.
So my experience is direct, but with toys and trinkets and like novelty items or miscellaneous items, I should say. But we were test marketing products for Fortune 500 companies.
Okay.
So take a route to the city, plan it out, take this side of the road, you take that side of the street. We're going to go all the way down until we end up at the end of the day with nothing in our trunks but some money.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, but
mine was just different. It had a corporate structure and a paycheck attached to it and a W-2.
All right, straight cash at the end of the night, man.
Right. So it was just a little bit different of a hustle. But that just, you learn through those experiences. And every day when you're talking to 10, 15 different people and in 3 to 5 different houses a day, that's kind of how I fell in love with the whole real estate game. I was in and out of people's homes on a daily, consistent basis. I fell in love with the design of systems, and then I had to learn the ins and outs of houses, the structures, and how where I have to run wire, or where my technician is going to have to run wire. So it got me into the real estate game without me even knowing I was going to fall in love with it.
Right.
So,
well, you've come some ways in this, man. Now, from what I see and understand, you're a prominent figure in a corporation that's known to provide a certain quality of salesmanship and to its brand. Talk to me about getting yourself and your feet wet and taking on the role as an associate with the Keller Williams brand there.
Yeah, so Keller Williams is a big global company. Shout out to Keller Williams, probably one of the best training companies out there, real estate companies out there. The culture is amazing. The fit was just perfect, right? I will say that I would have never gotten involved with Keller Williams had it not been for my business partners, Josh and Tony Wright, also former Clintondale Dragon alumni.
Josh,
right? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Shout out to y'all, man. Keeping everybody connected.
I took a chance and left an industry that I knew extremely well to try real estate. And I say try lightly because there's nothing I do that treads lightly. Like if I'm in, I'm in. I dive all in. So I joined with those guys and started in business with them. And they merged and bought a Keller Williams, which allowed me to get into the Keller Williams system and really get in from the ground level. And
how long is Keller Williams now? How long of a business they've been around?
How long's Keller Williams been around? Oh man, people are gonna hate me. It's a long time. Yeah. Keller Williams been around for
almost 100-year-old type of company?
No, probably 50, 60 years, maybe longer.
Shit.
Gary Keller's
25 years after the
and I should know this answer, but I don't. But yeah, I mean, you're getting into a KW, getting in from the ground up. You learn a lot. You learn, the ins and outs of real estate really quickly, because again, real estate is not a paid position. Like you're not in it. You just if you don't sell, you don't make it. And real estate's a little bit tougher than any other sales profession I've been in, for the simple fact that you're selling someone's biggest asset,
right?
The biggest purchase or decision financially that most people make in a lifetime. And it's not it's not for the faint of heart, right? So you have to know what you're doing. You're guiding people. You're an advisor. So you really have to, you have to be good, and to be great, you gotta dive in and really understand it.
So with the type of work that is, how is a new guy into the game coming in 2025? Is a new person coming into real estate somebody that's, I don't know, I wouldn't even put a fresh out of college on that kind of person, but mid-20s, late 20s and stuff, and they're like, I want to dive into this 2025. Is the road to success a hell of a journey at this point? Has the industry transformed itself?
I would say whether it was 2025, 2015, or 2035, it's always going to be a journey. Real estate's what we like to call cyclical. So it's a roller coaster. There's highs and lows. There's peaks and valleys. You got to learn to ride the wave. And if you do your job and do your job well, and you stay in touch with people like you and I do, and maintain communication and always reach out and don't burn bridges, you'll maintain well in this business. And it's not the barrier of entry is 40-hour pre-licensed class. I own a real estate school called McKee Central Training. So I'll give you a shameless plug, McKeeCentralTraining.com. 40-hour pre-licensed class. We're one of the prominent schools in Macomb and Oakland County. Actually, we're statewide. But you come in, it's a 40-hour pre-licensed class. You have to take a state exam and pass, which the state exam is no joke. It's 350 questions. You got 3 hours to take it. Or I'm sorry, 150 questions. You got 3 hours to take it. And it's most people don't succeed on their first go around. But if you're determined and you have enough perseverance and you grind through, whether it be one time and you pass on your first time or your fifth time, real estate's a great career, right? It could be very lucrative, but if you're a servant to the people, which I think you mentioned earlier today before we started this podcast, that's kind of the servant heart you have and wear. That's what you do daily. You get to help somebody and advise somebody to whether they could be going through really crazy life situations, and you're helping them get out of that by getting them into a new home, or you're helping somebody that just had a baby that needs more space.
Yeah. I bet that's just really when
it's
you're
like,
coming into it, man. A lot of people, my first child, my first marriage, I got to get
Right.
this space and house. And then that's when that network of yours really comes in. Because,
Yeah.
I know a guy.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You become the person referred.
Yeah.
I've always found real estate to be a challenge to the individual person, me being me. I always thought that it'd be hard to kind of sell people this home because I know I'm going to have to know I'm getting over them somewhere. And it's like, it's a part of the play, but at the same time, like, I just thought that would be a strong sale to be locked into for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I wanted more, something smaller but faster, because I know you sit on it. And I always hear the horror stories of real estate as opposed to the good ones. But I also know, everyone needs a home, just like everyone,
That's
they
it.
need to eat. So
We all go back to
restaurants,
one little square on the planet, right?
Right. So you're thankful on it.
So make it your own and build the equity, hold on to it.
What are some of the pitfalls that a person like yourself is faced with when going into these structured deals with people? What's one of the things that people miss when they find their agent and then they're ready to go, and then for some odd reason they're having a hard time with that agent? What's some of those issues that they go against?
To say it nicely, they don't create us all equal from a real estate perspective, right? You want to find somebody that's a local expert, somebody that's knowledgeable, somebody that's sold, this isn't their first deal. And if it is their first deal, make sure they have support behind them, right? Make sure they got a broker or a mentor or a coach that's going to help them through this transaction, because, it's just like success. It's not fun alone. And when you're going through a real estate transaction with a brand new agent, there's a lot of hurdles or obstacles you could be faced with that you want some proper navigation. But one of the things I would probably advise is make sure your finances are right. Make sure you're done with your pre-qualification. Don't just go on Rocket and fill out a quick form that says I can get pre-approved today just because I gave you a rough credit score and told you I make X amount of dollars. Actually have a bank or a lender run your credit and collect all your documents and look at your assets to make sure that you are really qualified to make that purchase. Because the last thing you want to have happen is you fall in love with a property that you toured, you showed your kids their bedrooms, they love it, you get an accepted deal, and then come to find out, well, I can't even buy this house because my credit's too bad, or my debt to income ratio is thrown off a little bit, and I just don't qualify.
Do you think people are confused when they hear the words debt to income?
I think it can be confusing, yeah. I mean, the same way to a non-mechanic person when you tell them that there's an alternator or,
that don't ring no doodaloo for me.
Yeah, man. Right. So I think, terminology that's where education comes in. And that's where when you have a good agent, it's not just throwing those terms out there and not explaining them. It's sitting down and talking, what does debt to income ratio mean? What does home inspections or concessions, like what is the process and what are you going to expect through this entire transaction? And if you walk somebody through it, educate them to where they understand it, then they're not hit and smacked with curveballs and hit in the face with like, hey, you didn't tell me that, or I didn't know that was a part of this deal. So it's important to go through and have that proper education before you even step foot in a house to say, I want to go look at it.
It could be a big thing. My mother's she's a homeowner too now, and it's like, Mom, I watch you just go ham with this stuff, man. From apartment to home to a couple years there, or a decade or so, and then buy out your own thing. So shout out to everybody that have made it through the process. But I find it kind of challenging that you don't get this type of training from the people closest to you on the home buying process. It says that you can get out here. There's a lot of people that know you can go to a class or go to some sort of thing, but the process is such a scary one. But you need the place. So most people just want to have the kind of cut and dry mentality, man. Why can't I just tell you, I make $7,500 a month, I don't know my credit is, bro, but just get me in the house. They just want to deal with it. What do you say to the people who just they're just really on the fence? They're trying to get themselves. They're in this new year, and they're ready for it. What do you say to those guys?
I mean, it's the same thing I would tell anybody. You can tell me all day that you're blue in the face. I know you're serious when you're ready to speak to a lender, unless you're buying cash and you can show me.
That's
the
what
bank
I'm saying.
statement.
It's like, okay, well, can you even do that these days?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be verified funds. I mean, it can't be mattress money.
Yeah,
You can't just lift the mattress, send me a picture, and say, I have 200,000 ready to buy a house. It's got to be vested funds. It's got to be verified. It's got to be in a bank account. It's got to be seasoned. These are all terms, again, that may be foreign to a lot of people. But yeah, you can tell me all day you got it and you're ready. But until you show me that you're committed to talking to a lender and getting the qualification done, I would tell you that you're just a window shopper.
What type of age would you say is the best time for home ownership in life?
The moment you can buy a house, buy a house. The moment you can buy land, buy land. The moment you can buy dirt. Doesn't matter. 18 and up is the moment you're ready to buy. And buy and hold. They can't build land anymore.
Nope.
Right. So the value is in the land. If you have a dwelling on it, if you have a house on it, maintain the house. It's going to always grow in equity. Right. On average, it's typically, I think the national average is about 3 to 5% a year that your property is going to grow in value. Now, we went through some crazy times with COVID and the housing market.
How did you sit on that, dude?
I mean, it was wild. It was wild times, right? And those times we were looking at like absurd amounts of equity growth. People were selling their homes for 50, 60, 100, 150,000 more than they were actually worth. But it's a supply and demand issue, and that's the same with every product out there. If there's a demand for it and the supply is limited, it's going to drive that demand. It's going to drive the price of that product up.
Well, in your words, how's the industry faring right now? Like you said, everything is 5 years post COVID. When it's COVID time, you weren't showing houses, but then I noticed when COVID
we were an essential worker. It took a month. I think it took 2 months or 3 months. But at that time, it was one of those things that were, when we couldn't practice, we were doing things like podcasts, or not podcasts, but we were digital. We were doing Zoom meetings and Zoom calls and staying in touch with our people. And we were delivering or having delivered essential items like toilet paper when you couldn't get it.
To all
all the past clients and things like that, and making sure everyone was okay.
Yeah.
Fortunately enough, I'm surrounded by people that are like-minded, that have a great work ethic, and that are also for the people, right? So when we would reach out, we'd find out, do you need anything? And if I can get it or help you get it, yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Everybody went through a rough world at that time. I had the luxury of being able to chill.
Oh, well, good for you. Good for you.
I came up with a lot of what we see today, man, behind that freedom of time.
Yeah,
and some money
I mean, it was definitely different. But today, I would say that everybody buy what you can when you can, being financially responsible. Second to that is make sure that you have somebody on your side that's an advocate of what you're looking to accomplish, and advise you properly. But in 2025, man, if you have the capability to, I'm hoping interest rates change, because that's what's kind of holding up the market a little bit. And if they do change, I think you're going to see another frenzy when it comes to home buying and selling. And but it should be good, man.
Well, we're gonna take another breather, but I just want to know: is the quality of homes really taking a hit though in this era now?
That's where it goes back to the maintenance of the house, right? If you're not maintaining a house, it's going to need cosmetic updates. It's going to need a roof. It's going to need siding, gutters.
They seem to go up so fast, though, man.
Oh, you're talking about new builds,
like quality home. Like now, is this shit more quality these days?
I'll plead the fifth. I can't speak negatively on any builder out there. Listen, I would love to be a developer one day, and not hold my own builder's license, but I would like to build some houses. Whether I'm general contracting or whatever, but I think that's where I might be, my lane might be headed. Do they build them all the same? No, they don't make them all equal, man. It's the same with real estate agents. We're not all equal. And there's different build quality, there's different materials, and builders, right. It's a business though. When you're in it to make a profit, you try to as a builder, you have to look at your product cost, your labor costs. And wherever you can squeeze the most margins out, you do what you have to do to make the profit.
And you're only just Tech Michigan with the property you manage.
My license is purely Michigan.
Pure Michigan.
Yeah.
There it is, folks, man. We're going to take another breather, man, and give Seggie a chance to woo-saw after all of this interesting conversation, man. It's your man's Ray-Bans at Nerd for the Burb. We'll be right back. Yeah. What's up, everybody? It's your man's Ray-Bans at Nerd from the Burb. Back in this thing, man, here at Club Legacy Nightclub, located in downtown Mount Clemens, man, officially known as Clemtown, right off of Main Street, 77 South Main Street, downtown Mount Clemens. We got Robert Seggie, man, still in the building, hanging out with us, man, dealing with him, with vibrations, and we in a good space right now, man. As you may know, we are open here to creatives who are interested in creative content making, or if you're interested in having a venue space for your next shindig of some sort, you can definitely get over to clublegacynights.com. You can easily dial 586-307-5060. You can easily go to Instagram and visit Club Legacy Nightclub and hit them with a DM. We here in Mount Clemens, man, we don't shy away from nothing. So tell us what you got going on, and let's see if we can work something out. Back to the seat, man. Robert Seggie, what it do, man?
Still here, man. Still here.
I wanted to adjust your mic real quick, man. Let me get you inside of this real quick. Push your chin.
Oh, like this?
There you go.
Good?
Excellent. You see, we live and direct.
A little bit better.
You know, it's a lot better now. It's in your chest, but it's off where your voice is echoing that sound wave thing. So you were ripping and running and talking to me about the values and quality building and making these homes. You have a passion one day to see yourself as a developer. Is that something you see yourself saying, man, if I check out of here, I better check out like that?
I don't know that there'll be a day where I check out. You know what I mean? I told myself I want to get into a profession where I don't have to retire.
What?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see myself staying still.
No.
I think you stand still, you get, it's like stagnant water, right? It goes stale. So always keep moving, always keep doing something. Real estate's like an advisory role. I don't think I mean, if I'm 80 or 90. I don't find it being, it's not a laborer, right? It's way different.
Yeah,
so I don't have to stop,
you
know, whether it be golfing or fishing and hanging out with people. It's a networking game. It's a networking business. So I don't feel like I have to retire from it. So just found something that I don't have to retire from.
That's what they say. Find something you love to do that you could do
there you go.
For free, but we ain't always sitting on that free word there. So with the work that you've established for yourself, You've kind of gotten yourself into a point where you attract people to your lane, and I've discovered that you have, and like you said earlier, that you have a training business of sort, a real estate training business. Now, it's one thing to sell the homes and then get excited about that shit and bust your ass to sell homes and sell them, and then you want to take a break. Apparently, break is never in your vocabulary. A training school means you do the job, then you're done, and then you go do the job, which is focus on the next guy. Yeah. So with a training course like this, people, they get involved with it. Tell me the process of putting together this training facility, and what's the superior service for it.
So initially, the thought developed from my personal experience going through real estate school to get licensed. There's mandates, there's state mandates, I should say, and every school operates differently. And my experience was, you go through the class, you have to pass a midterm and you have to pass a final in order to go on and take a state exam.
Right.
And that's actually not a state mandated requirement. You have to sit for 40 hours in a classroom environment. And
you can just straight walk in there and take the test and be on if you know.
Right. Well, you don't, so it's not necessarily like that.
Oh.
So realistically, I created this school with my business partners, Josh and Tony. It spawned from the thought of we could do it better. Second to that, it was developed so we can help agents get into the business. And there's a lot of people out there that have passion for real estate or want to get into real estate.
Do you ever get is there seemingly an oversaturation of this or something like that? Can you say that?
No, yes and no. There's a lot of people that get into it. There's a lot of people that get out of it really quickly.
Yeah.
Because they identify like it's not like HGTV. I can't get into it and then I'm showing these $1 million houses tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
There's about an 80% attrition rate, meaning every couple of years, 80% of the people in it today are gone.
Damn.
That's a high turnover.
Big time.
And when you think about that, once you think about now, in order for people to even get in the business, they have to take a class. Well, imagine how many people have to take the class for there to be that high of a turnover. Right?
A lot of people must have talked to the last person. I was close, but you probably better than me.
Yeah. So from a business idea, it was a great, plus we have a real estate company. And as a real estate company, well, everyone's in business to make a profit and make money, more so help people reach their financial goals, right? So we started the school because we wanted to help people get into the business, but there's also they were going to be working with our brokerage potentially. So it was a funnel that led to the end game that allowed us to have.
What I'm on with this podcast,
right?
Hey, you train with me, you're
right.
part of the system. But yeah.
So same thing. We wanted to start the school because we thought we could do it better than what's already being done out there, provide better service. I hired my teacher, shout out to Russ Marone.
What up?
Russ was a K through 12 educator for 40 years, got into real estate, had his license, has been licensed for close to 40 years. Couple his passion for teaching and education with his knowledge in real estate, and you have a great educator. Been teaching real estate classes for a long time. He came on board with us.
Wait a minute, you said Finn?
No. Russ Marone. Finn's also in real estate.
I was going to say, I know I seen him on the tip. Though.
He's also a Keller Williams agent
out
of a different office. I would love to have Finn on the team one day. So Finn, if you're open and you're listening,
you hear him, Finn.
Let's talk. Let's go grab some lunch or coffee.
This is what it's for, Finn. Get connected, baby.
But that was the idea and the birth of the school was, let's do something that's going to be a little bit better than what's out there, an experience. Give them a quality education, bring them into a system that provides them with training, coaching, mentorship, great opportunities to accomplish their financial goals. And that's really where it spawned.
I don't want to say it's scary, but you definitely need a partner or some sort of a real mentor. Because in those lanes, the information is nothing taught in school or in your early stages of life. You don't just go into college and be like, I'm finna go get a realtor degree.
Right. Yeah,
So-
it's not the common path.
No, it ain't.
No.
So acquiring the knowledge is through a whole lot of the friendships or the families that you have that can give you some insight. But you come into this training course. Now, how many students do you usually work with in this?
So we usually get between 15 and 20 students every single month that come through our class. We run classes every single month, so every 5 weeks. We also have an online platform. It's called Work at Your Own Pace. So if you prefer that route and you don't need an educator and you're kind of self-taught and you're comfortable with that and your schedule doesn't allow you to do a live instruction class, then we have a self-paced course, which is online only. But then we have a live instruction course where you actually have an instructor that takes you through the whole process. The book's about this thick, 400 plus pages. It's a lot of content. We run on Mondays and Wednesday evenings, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. to free up people's normal 9 to 5 or 8 to 4 work schedule. You come after work, and it's something you got to be dedicated to, right? Because most people that are getting into real estate have a full-time job that they're sick of, and they're ready for a change. They're ready for something different. Or we have the high school student that's like, hey, I'm ready to jump in. I know somebody that's in the business, they're succeeding, they see the success. There's just a lot of people don't know what's behind the curtain, right? All the failures I mentioned earlier and all the stepping stones that you have to go through to get to a certain spot. Everyone's going to go through their trials and tribulations. It's never a flip of the switch where you jump in. For most people,
you got to be real with yourself when you get into this.
Yeah. Set some real goals. Set some expectations. You know, what changed? Listen, I'll tell you what changed my life. You ever hear of Eric Thomas?
Yeah, E.T., big E.T. We had E.T. over here the other day with Eric Thompson.
UOU was the video I watched in, I think it was 2012.
UOU.
So Eric Thomas, UOU. And he's an inspiration. He's a motivational speaker from Detroit. So he's a local guy. You know, he talks about he used to eat out of trash cans. He was homeless. He was all this. And he woke up one day and was like, this is my fault. All right? This is all on me. Nothing can stop me from accomplishing what I want to accomplish. I'm my biggest roadblock, right? So if I can clear everything out the way, clear my mind, set a goal, and go after it, what's going to stop me?
This shit sounds so simple, bro. It really do.
It does sound simple.
It gets so confusing for people. But I could attest to that. When the mind gets clear though, and you move yourself out of the way of yourself.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
The success is simple. It's just work.
Yeah.
It's just constant work. It's constant work. You know, you see me answering. I'm looking at emails and texts. I mean, what time is it? 10:30 at night, right?
Don't stop. But that's when the most my creative waves and my time to really be in that hour, man. So I know when it comes to the homes or somebody's dead on, or if you're an agent trying to get on, you probably finna get to studying like crazy at that 2-3 hour. You know what I'm saying? And you focusing on.
Yeah, I mean the class is one thing, right? Our school is one thing. The pre-license course teaches you how to go take the test. Yeah. That test does not prepare you for a day in the life of a real estate agent or a real estate professional. That's where joining a good brokerage and having a mentor and a coach and a great broker by your side is going to really play a big advantage, because it's not what you read in that book, right? It's a totally different world, totally different atmosphere.
How's now with the school being the way it's at, and you having the monthly stuff. You mentioned that you started it some time ago, COVID time.
Yeah.
So with that being out and you now having we're way past COVID. You've come out of that now, and with those two things that you juggle, how are you able to do this and still maintain identity as Seggie, man? Old Rob Seggie, man.
You got
kids now, man.
Yeah, two boys, 16 and 10. Listen, it's you have to be very diligent in time management. You have to structure your day every day and really protect your time. It's easy for us to all say yes to something, right? If you needed something done with a servant heart, I'll help you out. You have to learn to say no and be okay with that. You got to learn how to delegate. You have to learn how to allow other people to take things off your plate.
That was a hard one for me to start working. Just accepting people's kindness and shit. Like, I want to help you. Like, no, I'm used to doing all this shit myself. No,
right,
I'm straight.
Right.
Okay.
And then the act of letting go is different as well, because you have a certain mindset that only I can do this a certain way. Really, that's just you. That's a limited mindset. That's a limiting belief, because they're going to do it. They're going to do it to a standard that you tell them or teach them to, and it's going to be okay. Yeah. We just have to learn to let go.
I like that, man.
But I will say that it's not just that, right? So that man, this isn't a tooting my own horn, but like the school and real estate and mortgage, and I'm an investor. We flip properties. We have rental properties that I manage. We got Airbnb, the school. I'm a coach. I'm in the Lions Club in my local community. I'm on the zoning board in my local community. So I try to be as involved as I possibly can, just with my community, because if I'm going to live there and I'm going to put my kids through it, and I want to set a great example, right? My father,
so, man. I see him over there, man, playing that bulldog ball over there. Man.
My father passed when I was young, and I didn't have that male figure. My grandfather was there for me. You probably remember him watching football practices from his truck with his binoculars.
Heck yeah.
He passed when I was going through college, so and he was my father figure. My dad passed when I was young. It was just my mom. She worked her ass off in and out of factories. And that's where I got the work ethic from. I got my structure and discipline from my grandfather. And, that carried me through to where I am today to help me with all this stuff that I'm doing. But that's the part that I'm doing this because I want them being my two boys. And I couldn't do anything that I do. I'll tell you this right now without my wife.
Boy, you better get to it. You know,
she's the backbone. She holds the house down. She's the structure. You know, she's the rock that holds it down. But I will say this, that I'm hoping that everything that I do, they see it. And they know the long hours that I sacrificed and maybe the time that I did miss with them, the little bit that I do miss, because I try to be a part of everything. Because I know that was one void that I had growing up, was looking up in the bleachers and no one there.
Nobody there for you.
You know, that's the part that was always that sticks with me, right? To this day, it's
sad because I had a brother, so my mom's, you know, we single mom and shit, but she got to pick and choose, you know. She can't be at both boys sitting. They both go to different schools.
Right,
so
right.
So you got to. So y'all was my boys when it came to that, man.
So I want them to look and realize, like, nothing's given to you in this world. It takes hard work. It takes effort. It takes a daily activities to make, you know, whatever you're trying to accomplish happen. It takes activity and takes action. So I'm hoping that's ideally why I do what I do every single day. I mean, I literally have my son's name tattooed on my chest, so when I wake up, I see it every day. My oldest, 16 years old, sophomore in high school. This is nuts to even say.
Like you right now out there?
He's bigger than I am. And he reminds me of it every day. I'm taller than you, Dad, and you know, so on. But he's in a totally different avenue than I thought would have ever happened. Right? Like, you have your first kid, and as a male, when you have a boy, you're like, yeah, let's go, right?
Everything.
I thought mini Brian Urlacher was coming out, and and I put him in every sport possible. And you know, my philosophy and my mindset with my kids are expose them to everything and let them pick and choose what their passions are. And sports wasn't the passion for my oldest kid, and I'm okay with that. He's into music. He's a hell of a drummer, a percussionist, I should say.
That's dope, man.
He does all the different instruments. He's into theater stuff.
He hears music and play, or he plays music?
Nope, he hears music and he can play it, which is a unique talent.
Yeah. That's the person you call for that job real quick. Hear this poem, get in that beat real quick, and he make his own out of it. Yeah, you got it.
He literally taught himself keyboard. He taught himself drums. He did have some assistants. Evan Hakeem took some drum lessons with Evan. But he's one of those musically inclined individuals that hears it. He can play it on a keyboard. He can play it on the drums. He can recreate.
You gotta be good at noticing that as a parent. Like you said, you had an aspiration for him to do this and do that and be all. You exposed him to all that shit. But when did you think? Let me put a piano in his hand.
Man,
when did it come to that?
I think it was a Christmas gift, and it wasn't even from us. You know, honestly. And then it's the truth goes in that your second child is a polar opposite of your first. And my youngest Archer, who's 10 years old now, is just he was into soccer, he's into baseball, he's in wrestling right now, and football, and he's a jock.
Yeah.
And he loves sports, and all his friends are in sports, and that's what he loves and he enjoys. His goal, he wants to grow up.
Who's his favorite player?
Yeah, he wants to grow up. Actually, Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, and he's not going to be a Justin Jefferson. The dude's 10 years old. He's 5 foot, 110 pounds. Like, he's a big kid.
5'10"?
5 foot, 110
pounds. 5'10"?
No, I'd be having scouts at my door.
You sure would.
But he's still growing right now. But his passion's for sports, and he wants to be an NFL player.
That's
good, to pivot back to my oldest, he loves the band, he loves the percussion stuff, but he wants to be a chef. And when I talk to him about things, you know, as you're going to learn really quickly as when your kid gets in the teenage years, they're exposed to so much more than we were growing up. The internet and all the information.
Just that alone.
And when I tell him how to do something, he gives me 15 other ways that he can do it.
I ain't want to tell you, but I know this way to do it better.
Yeah, and you know, like I used to talk back to, I hate to even say it, like, think I'm always right when I was a kid, and knowing I'm wrong. Looking back, knowing I was wrong. But he's taught me some things on how to do things and life hacks, and I'm just blown away by the intelligence he has. And two, the fact that he's you know, the stuff that these kids know nowadays is just crazy.
Well, they're here to help us, man. He's Gen Z now. Is that what that is? He's a Gen Z kid.
Yeah, I don't pay attention to that stuff.
Well, you got.
No, we're millennials on the edge of it, but there's Gen Z and everything coming behind that. They found a way to press an easy button, which is crazy because we're used to work and we're used to seeing an easy button and throwing it off the table and saying, I'll work my way through it and figure it out.
Yeah, let me figure out how to do it before I just press the button.
Yeah. And they found not the one easy button, but they've created 30 of them. And now they can press any of them.
They press them all like, what do you think now, Dad?
Right. So that's the world we live in, and that's my son, my oldest, in a nutshell. But he's phenomenal kids, man. I couldn't be prouder. Again, 16 and 10 years old. I feel like, although I think I'm 42 this year, which is crazy to say.
Congratulations, man. 42-year-old in this thing.
Made it to 42. Again, when all odds were stacked against us, right?
Hold on, man. You got the faculty of your limbs. You didn't look like your knees was cracked up. You don't got
we're good, man. I didn't walk in. You didn't have to push me on a straw.
We had to use the elevator for a second today. That's good shit, man.
And just man. I couldn't be prouder every single day, man.
Well, look, we're gonna take a breather again, man. Get some final words from you, man, and some shout outs and things. I did want to kind of find out one piece more before we do leave. Airbnb, that stuff came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Is it a good thing to the real estate world, or has it become one hell of a hazard?
So it doesn't. So I think it's a good thing. It's, for multiple reasons. Change is always difficult, no matter where. I mean, look at Blockbuster, for instance.
I know, just
here one day, gone the next. Netflix changed the world with that. Airbnb changed the hotel game, right? People were sick of having to go stay in a common hall area with ice machines in the hallway when I can have my own house to myself for my family for almost the same cost per day. I mean, wow. So if you're an investor and you're into those things, it's a wonderful thing. If you're an agent helping somebody get into those things, I think Airbnb is a good. We have an Airbnb in Algonac on the water, usually booked around year round. Because it's on the water, so we get fishermen and outdoorsmen that stay there, and it's close.
It puts the house, it keeps it in good condition, so because there's not nobody there regularly, and then when they're there, you're getting what you want out of it.
Well, yeah, it keeps it in good condition because one, we it's part of our rules process when somebody rents it, but two, after they're gone, we have a cleaning service that comes in and cleans the house.
Doesn't that leave these houses kind of stanky, looking kind of empty and just not used? And I've come to hear and see that there's a crisis, so to speak. This corporations are just snagging up all the damn houses and then just
that's a whole different animal. Some Airbnbs do sit vacant. The vacation rental game isn't the same everywhere, but when they do sit vacant, as long as they're maintained, I mean, it's no different than a rental, right? Think about a long-term rental that a landlord doesn't take care of. That you call them slumlords, right?
Right.
If they don't care who their tenants are and they're just all about collecting a paycheck and they don't maintain the property, I think those are sometimes are worse off for communities than Airbnbs are.
I can definitely attest to that.
Yeah.
Listen, man, it's your man's Ray Band, that nerd for the bird. We got Robert Seggie still on the mic with us, man. We're going to give him a second to breathe, man, take a bathroom break, and we're going to close things out, man. It's your man's Ray Band, that nerd. We right back.
This that one grind. I'ma go ahead and hit the road and go and get mine. This that one grind.
Diamond. The fully stocked mini market. Clean and friendly. We cash checks only if we are familiar with the company and it's already in our system. From your favorite beer and wine to lottery, groceries and our fresh deli. Making sure Clinton Township gets the best customer service around, shop Diamond. And continue to keep the legacy going.
This that one grind. I'ma go ahead and hit the road and go and get mine. This that one grind. I'ma go ahead and hit the road and go and get mine. This that one grind. I'ma go ahead and hit the road and go and get mine. I've been on my grind.
What's up, everybody? It's your man's Ray Bands, getting back into this thing we do well, Zone Talk. We got Robert Seggie, man, still in the building, man, giving us his final thoughts and clear mindset for the new year. We're gonna touch bases and tap out. Rob, man, how you doing over there, dog?
Fantastic, man. I appreciate you having me on.
I was just gonna say
you're doing amazing things. Asking all the right questions at the right times. Excited for the future for OurWAY and this podcast, man.
Well, I thank you, man. It's been an interesting journey. I got two other associates of this, man. Shout out to the Trust CEO, Big Scoop, even Mr. Coolie Cool, man. I got a lot of people that work to make this behind the scenes thing, work. And I think personality is what's kind of keeping us all going. Everybody's been able to express themselves kind of through this. But we were strong in it, and I'm happy that it allows me to be the guy who I've always wanted to be when I was in school.
Yeah, man, I think that's why you can appreciate platforms like this. It's freedom of expression, get your ideas and thoughts out there, let people come on here and do the same thing.
Yeah. Well, I try to get me a therapist degree or some shit, man. I don't know, man. I don't want to be a talk show guy. People have been asking. I don't want to really dive into all that emotional stuff, man. I like the highs and the highlights of your life, man. That's where I like to focus, discovering other people's excitement.
There you go.
I'm going to let you get up out of here, man, Rob. But before you go, could you, or if you have any, do you have any particulars that you want to shout out, man? Any shameless plugs that you got in there left, man?
Man, if you're in the market to get into the real estate, McKeeCentralTraining.com, start there. If you're in the market to buy, sell, invest, contact me today. That's my shameless plug for me.
Where can they find you?
Robert Seggie at InNetworkRealEstate.com. You can find that's my website. I got a couple different websites, but I could plug. Just contact me, 586-207-7685. Find me on Facebook, Instagram. Let's see, just big shout out to my business partners. I surround myself with like-minded people, hard workers, people that want to grow and see other people grow. I think that's important to surround yourself with people. Your circle don't have to be big, but it's got to be like you and supporting the goals that you're looking to accomplish. So my business partners, my family, my wife, my kids, my mom. Shout out to my mom. I wouldn't be here without her.
Can't forget mine's, dog. Man, shout out to mine too. Appreciate that shit. Somebody mentioned and spoke on talking about ain't nothing like having somebody, of age like that still taking care of you and shit. I appreciate the grocery visits, you know what I'm saying? A couple of little snacks here or the little extra clothes and stuff, man. The care packet for Christmas and shit.
Pack of socks.
Yeah.
I still get underwear and socks for Christmas.
I still do, baby. Appreciate that stuff.
Yeah,
dog.
man. I just, anytime I get to spend with my mom is an important time. So, we're limited in this thing we call life. So every day I get to have a chance to live on earth with her is a blessing.
Yes, it is, man. Well, Seggie, man, it's 2025 coming to a fall. Anything exciting to expect from you that we should know about?
Man, no. Honestly, I could say 1,000,001 things. You know what I'm excited for this year, honestly, is getting back into, because spring's right around the corner, so it's baseball season for my youngest. I coach baseball. I coach youth baseball out in the Romeo area, and then football season right around the corner from that. So I still have a passion for coaching. So I'm looking forward to that. Real estate's going to be big this year. I'm excited for that. I think the investment game is going to be good this year. I'm excited to pick up a couple properties and turn them over. And then just life in general, man. Every day I wake up excited. So I can't say that there's any particular thing that I'm looking forward to aside from tomorrow.
Well, I know that's right, man. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
There you go.
You've been doing you, and at this point, sorry, I've been very appreciative of having people like you to know that I can call upon, man, or to reach out to, and they still got a something in them, and that they still fucks with me, man. That's just how I can put it, man. I'm glad we got a chance to know each other, spend some life in this thing, man.
Yep, same here.
Been on the battleground, really with it, got it kind of serious, man. I've always had some memories, man. And I think I threw it out to you, man. I was in your ear hole one time in practice, man. It felt good just to see you get up. Oh, that was good, Dixon. That was good. You caught me slipping.
I told you I don't remember that. You try to have short-term memories. Listen, I still remember we used to work out right around the corner at the I forget what the gym was called back then, like Brick House or something.
Grossman?
Yeah, off Grossman. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were workout partners.
I remember being over what's his name? The tall motherfucker, dog. And I know you, dog. Corey man's dog. Lockhart, dog.
Oh yeah.
That shit used to be the dopest of things, and I ain't never experienced that.
That's why I left.
Watching
camaraderie,
film, kicking it like that, dog.
Yeah, eating Kowloon.
Yeah, that shit's still there too.
I know, still good, man. I get it. Anytime I go down to visit mom, she still lives over there.
But those were times, man, I cherish, man, and to see you guys, man, smile when y'all see faces like mine, man. It just let me know the comfort that comes with being in the suburban area like this, and then more importantly, it's a great place to be when we were growing up. I couldn't ask for no other place to be.
We were a band of brothers.
Yeah, it was a lot of brotherhood shit going on.
Yeah,
I can't speak for today, but I'm relying on that right now, bro. Just that, you know what I'm saying? So any of you old guys out there, man, y'all seeing that thing, man, and y'all saying to yourself, man, let me go and get on in there and chop it up with Dixon, man. Please tap in. It'll be a fun time to tap in and see where you guys are at, man.
Yeah, you won't regret it.
Yeah, no hard feelings, man, no bullshit aside. You just want to chop it up, man, because we might not see this day, and I hope that this helps your legacy, and it shows that
I appreciate it. Yeah,
it puts people, gives other people another light about you,
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if you got anybody that comes on here interested, I like just talking about real estate. So I'm open. I'm open to conversation. So yeah.
Oh, I know y'all out there, Demetrius. I know you out there killing them in Florida and everything. So you might be somebody next. But there's people that's watching, man, and I hope that you guys do take.
Hey, Florida's the one state where Michiganders go. So and then they come back from Florida. So you said his name's Demetrius. Let's connect. Right. I'll send my people to you. You send your people back to me. Let's go.
There it is, man. Just like that. Well, we're going to get it up out of here, man. Be safe, man. I appreciate you guy over there. Jay, man, the great, man. Thank you as well. Everybody over there in Club Legacy, man, that does what they do best. Princess, man. They make stuff happen, man. They're beautiful people, man. If you haven't had a chance to get to meet them, find a way. You won't regret it. Shout out to Big Trust CEO and Big Scoop. It's another episode in the books, baby. Y'all keep it locked, man. We be on the next one. It's our way or no way. You dig? We out of here.